Hello and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns. This is a little roundup of all the things I've managed to complete in 2024. So 2024 has been a bit of a hectic time for me. I've been back in work. My little girl, she's not a baby anymore and she's not really a toddler either. She's kind of like a little girl now. I think she's technically still a toddler, but yeah, she turned 2 in July and she has really turned into a little personality. But she's a very busy life and I was working, and then my husband has also been working as well, and everything was fine in the first half of the year. Lovely, happy days, things were going well. And then just before my daughter's birthday, my husband noticed a lump on his arm. And he has had previous history of a metastatic melanoma. It was a melanoma, malignant melanoma, and now it's turned into a metastatic melanoma. So we found it just up on the arm, the same arm he had the original. So we managed to catch it in time, get it surgically excised, but he is currently on treatment for a year, kind of preventative treatment. There's no evidence of cancer anywhere else in his body yet visible. There might be microscopic, which is why he's on that treatment. So it's been a bit of a year. We also were half thinking about maybe trying to have another baby. The plan was next year, not this year, but with the treatment and everything, we decided to try. And luckily, we're so lucky that everything worked out, and I am now 6 months pregnant. So James is 3 months started on the treatment, and I am 6 months pregnant, which has resulted in a lot of anxiety and stress and sickness, and just both of our immune systems are super the person with the best immune system is my daughter. So Christmas has been a blast because we all had that horrible influenza A. I had the vaccine for it actually, so I never got any temperatures and there was never any danger to the baby. But man, it took a solid 2 weeks to get over. Like, I'm still not over it. I can still feel it here, and there's like coughs and yuck. So that's just a quick background about probably maybe an excuse as to why I've not been filming and I've not been making that much. But I suppose I'm just going to show you a few things that I've really got back into knitting, some things that I've got, and just a little bit of positivity to kind of look back on 2024 with a little bit of a different view. Like in a positive sense, we are so glad that we caught everything super early and that his team were on the ball and got everything done super fast. So he was like straight on to treatment and surgery and everything. So we're on a really good path, but it's just going to be rubbish to get to the end, really. It's a real marathon, a year of a marathon. So we're not out the other side. We have a long way to go, but I think we'll be okay. But one of the things that was really starting to get me down was not being able to, like, I was really getting suckered into social media, and I was really getting suckered into like kind of just almost doom scrolling and like just really miserable and awful, you know, just kind of. Ooh. And then when you're pregnant as well, your emotions are like super like right here on the brim, you know, like you're a glass of water and it's just drip and they're just like overflow. That's what it feels like. I had a pretty horrible first trimester as well. I was on like an anti-sickness medication and everything was rubbish because I had to keep working, and I had to, you know, there was a lot of pressure because James was off because he was getting diagnoses and all this sort of stuff. So it was chaotic. So I decided the 1st of January or 1st of December, I was like, I need to come off Instagram. I need to come off it completely and stop the doom scrolling on Instagram specifically. Now, I didn't get rid of YouTube or TikTok, but my YouTube and TikTok algorithms are pretty like boring. Do you know, they're just kind of like silly entertainment stuff. There's nothing like real deep going on in there. So I unfortunately, that's a whole other situation to try and come off all sort of social media, especially when I'm caught like putting a baby to bed. Yeah, so I came off Instagram completely around the 12th of December. So 2 solid weeks, maybe a little bit more than 2 weeks of no Instagram, and I completely removed myself. And I focused on my family, and thank God, because we were all so sick and dying sick. So like I couldn't have done anything anyway, but it's kind of allowed me to have a little bit of distance and have a little bit of like actual deep thought about what I want to do on this online space that we have, because I did a little like test live video the other day. It lasted 6 minutes before I got interrupted by a child. But there was so many comments from people that are still there and you follow me, and they're my followers and subscribers and friends, really. I know them for years and years and years now. I know ye for years and years and years now. And it made me really want to come back in a sort of a semi-consistent sort of way. So that's why I'm here, basically. Long story short. Long story, 6 minutes 37. Just a little catch up. But yeah, and so I'm going to show you a few things that I've been making. I showed you a jumper that I'm currently working on. I'm not going to show that again because that's basically, I've just done 2 more rows on that. It's at the really boring stage around the body. But when I got pregnant, that's it. When I got pregnant, I decided I need to make a few more of these little baby beloved hats, these little beloved bonnets. These are from Tin Can Knits, and I don't think it's a free pattern, but it is the most valuable pattern I own. I've made about 7 of these, and they are just so cute. So baby is due in April, kind of end of April, mid-April. I don't know, I have a feeling for mid-April. Excuse me. So it's going to be still kind of cold, and also a baby, a baby. And hopefully this will actually still fit them going into August and things like that. Now, we've had such terrible summers that this is probably going to be appropriate. The yarn, I think, is Skeins yarn from, oh no, it's not Skeins yarn. It's, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely, it's like buttery soft. It was the New Zealand yarn. It's a merino, 100% merino, DK. Oh God, can I think of it? I can't remember. I'm gonna hopefully write it down below in the show notes if I remember to put up show notes. But it's literally just, I have like about 20 little 50-gram balls of this wool, which is just beautiful stuff. And I bought it when the farm, I think, was under threat of like closing or something, so they were trying to like raise revenue. So I think I literally spent like €200 on yarn, and I'm still working my way through it, and it was like probably the best investment I've ever made because I have so much of it now. So I've got some beautiful white cream left. I think I might have 10, maybe 7 or 8 balls of this left, and I've got the same DK weight in like a dark brown, which is really nice too. It'd be lovely as a jumper or something, or just more hats. Delicious. And then I decided, well, it's getting cold, so that was probably in July-ish, probably August that I made this. They're super quick and easy. I know the pattern off by heart now at this point. Then I actually had you might hear my husband coughing up his lungs in his office because he's still not over the flu that we got. We got the influenza B disaster. Anyway, we're still coughing like 10 days later. It's a disaster. But this yarn is actually yarn that I bought in Tasmania. It was a super chunky yarn. And I initially had this knit up into a double knit world hat pattern, but it was really big and chunky, and it was part of a cal that I hosted with like four or five other girls who were based all around the world. and it was called the Around the World Cal or knit along or something like that. And it was super fun. And I still have like all the patterns from like Australia and South America and everywhere, you know. So this is, I just really wanted to make kind of like a star stitch hat. I couldn't find the pattern. I remember seeing it in a video once upon a time, a million years ago, and then never saw it again. And I was like, "Fick, I'm gonna have to make up this pattern." So I did. I think I took a video of it. I hope I did. A little tutorial video. So if I did, I'm gonna try and find it. But it's a super lovely pattern. The yarn, the pattern, I think I just took the numbers from another Tin Can Knits pattern. I think I took it from the Harvest hat, or one of their free patterns with like all the kids' sizes. So I just borrowed the numbers from there. And then I basically decreased in between the star stitches. It's not a star, I think it's called a Lotus stitch. But it's so cute and it fits my daughter really, really well. It's super warm and super cozy and she loves wearing it. My mother did have to wind in the ends because I didn't have time. And it was annoying her so much that I kept on sending pictures of with a little girl in this hat. She's like, I'm gonna have to come over, and she literally drove out and wove in the ends because it was annoying her so much. Mums are the best. And then the only other thing I finished this year was actually a present that I got as part of my Secret Santa. And this was such a lovely present. In work, we do a big Secret Santa. There's like 90 of us. And someone gave me a ball of this Pom Pom yarn. Now, I haven't cut off the ends yet. I think it's Rico Pom Pom. And this is a large Pom Pom yarn. And the cake itself was like huge. And it's an ombre. Ooh, it's an ombre yarn kind of color way. So I started off not knowing how to do it. Bits. But it's for the new baby. So I don't think they're going to be extremely picky about that. And I was very, very tight at the start. I didn't quite understand how it was working. But then after a while, I really figured it out. And it's just lovely. I actually love these little vent holes in between. And it's such a little, it's just real squishy. Totally 100% polyester. I think it's like it's a Rico Pom Pom, large Pom Pom. But what you do basically is you knit 2 stitches in between each Pom Pom. That's it. And it's garter stitch all the way up. So the Pom Poms will actually fall both forward and backward. Do you know when you're knitting garter? So do you know when you're knitting garter here, you can see it's the same on both sides. Basically, this side and this side, they're the same. And this is exactly what's happening here. So you're knitting garter stitch, and in between each row, oh my God, we're not working. In between each row, there's basically 2 stitches in between each Pom Pom. And once you get into the swing of it, it works out really, really well. It's a little bit finicky to knit, but very fast because it does come up super fast. And I just got this into my head that I was going to finish it before Christmas. So this is the last thing I finished in 2024. Still not sure about this bind off edge. I bound off. I wanted it to be looser than the other side because I cast on really, really tight. And now I'm after binding off really, really loose. So it's like a bell curve. I don't know. Again, it's for a baby. It's just going to be tucked up around them in the buggy. Don't really care about it being perfect. I'm just really glad that I managed to knit something for this baby, because I didn't manage to knit anything for my first. And she was wrapped up in everyone else's knits, which was so lovely. But second baby, no one really gets anything with second baby. So I really wanted to get something for second baby. And I just wanted to basically show you what the yarn looks like before And then after, it's so cute. I think the ball was something like 20 quid or something, maybe less. I think she just bought it in Lena's inside in town. I'm based in Limerick in the west coast of Ireland. I don't think I said that. And Lena's is kind of one of the only shops that we have for yarn. In Limerick, really, we don't really have a specialist yarn shop, which is sad. But she stocks all of the, Rowan and the DK style crafts and things like that. She wouldn't stock like, I don't think I've ever seen any, oh my God, I can't remember. I think I've only seen 1 or 2 sock yarns in there ever. Fingering weight really wouldn't be part of the deal. I bought a new mug. It's a water bottle-y like type mug thing. Because the other one I had broke, and then it broke open, and then I saw all the mold that was inside in it. So this is a solid piece, which you just need to wash, and there's no mold going anywhere near me, thank God. I've had enough of food-borne illnesses. So moving on now to my works in progress. Now, I'll probably show you this. I haven't worked on it in, I'd say 6 months easily, but this needs to be ripped out. That's the issue. I couldn't do anything with it because, what was the reason again? Oh yeah. So this, oh God, the smell. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'll show you the yarn first. It's so good. Oh, I bought this from my friend Sandra, who was closing down her shop up in Ardara, the Irish Fibre Crafters. She's still selling online. I think I had some of my stock there with her for a long time, actually. And I just wandered in just to say hi and collect my stuff and wish her well and all that sort of jazz. And then I saw this. Oh, so pretty. This is Afghan cashmere, hand spun, undyed, made in a cottage industry by women in Afghanistan. It's from the mountain, and I don't think you can get it anymore because it was sourced by an American soldier's wife, I think, or the American military. And of course, Afghanistan has kind of gone down into not giving women any sort of job or role. So this was an extremely special purchase of mine. And she was selling it for €40 a skein. Hand spun cashmere. Yes, that's a deal. And then she was selling it for for 50% off that. So €20 a skein. I got 5. I was like, I can't believe it. So it's just the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. And it makes me want to make sure that I'm making something that I will wear, that I will love, that is worth the time that those women, whoever knows what's happened to them. But these women have put so much time and effort into spinning this yarn by hand so perfectly. And it's just beautiful to knit with. So I don't know if From the Mountain is still in business. But yeah, so at the back it says, we are proud to offer our 100% cashmere yarn. Spinning our yarn provides an important source of income for women in Afghanistan, many of whom have been left as heads of household by over a decade of war. Gauge will vary with hand-spun yarn, hand-wash cold and dry flat. They are based in Chapel Hill in North Carolina, and it's fromthemountain.com. So if you want to take a little screenshot of that, beep. I'll try and pop it in show notes if I can. So what I wanted to do was basically make up a pattern. I am bad at this. So I do it for every single jumper I try. So what I wanted to do was really showcase the yarn, but also showcase the pattern as well. I didn't want a complete, just a stripe. I wanted to add in a bit of lace in there as well. So I wanted a really big oversized jumper, but this is too oversized. I think that's the issue. I think I need to bring it back. But maybe now that I'm pregnant, it's the right size. Pom. So there's some lovely, so the pattern up here is just a really simple eyelet. Like, I think it's just knit to, really simple. And then the next one is like a little flower pattern. Very simple again. It's kind of like I wanted this to be a sampler or like a little selection of skills that I have. And then this is, I don't know what this is, like a figure 8 situation. I think it's almost finished there. So yeah, maybe I'll try it on and maybe it's actually the right size for me now. I don't know, because I've separated for the sleeves and everything. Maybe it'll just be, but I feel like it was super, super big and that was the problem. But maybe I'll just let it be really big. I don't know, it doesn't seem terribly big now, but I have changed a lot in size since I put this away. So that does make sense. And you know what? Big oversized things are really nice when you're breastfeeding because you can just like throw them over you and then lift them up and do all business. So that might be a good idea, but you can sit, like, you can see that, like, I just feel like whenever, oh my God, it's so soft. Whenever I feel this yarn, it just feels so special. Like I'm literally traveling to that country and I'm literally with those ladies. Oh, anyway, sorry, make myself sad again. So, excuse me. I have two more of the dark and one more of the light. Maybe it was a case of I might not have had enough to finish it if I kept it that big. But if I am that big, then, you know, make it fit you, who you are actually physically, not like an idea of yourself, because you're definitely not going to wear it then. What a waste of all that work from everyone involved, you know, the women, me, the person who organized it. Anyway, so speaking of the artists, I have not bought much yarn at all this year. I honestly think, I'm trying to think now, am I correct in saying that? I think I am. I think the only thing I've bought this year has been from my friend Hannah, the Corner of Craft. And she did a very special skein for Christmas Eve cast on. I didn't manage to cast it on because I was knitting this bad boy. But this skein is called First Christmas. It's a sturdy sock set and it came with 2 little minis. And what I want to do with this is knit a baby vertebra for a new baby. And then I don't know if I'm having a girl or a boy, so I'm going to literally like finish it off like the button bands and stuff with the edge, with the pink or the blue, depending on what comes out. So this is 75% superwash blue face Leicester, 25% nylon. Excellent. I can throw it in the wash. And it's 100 grams and then they're 20 grams each, these ones. And this is very special because it's probably the last skein of yarn I'm going to buy from the UK, unless I'm physically in the UK, because I had to pay 15 euros customs to get this across the border. Like, it's just painful. It's painful. And now, actually, I think that a lot of the English companies or British companies have stopped selling to the EU altogether because there's this new law that came in that has restricted them or made it difficult. So they've just cut off most of the EU customer supply or customer base, which is absolute madness. Because I was talking to Hannah, and I hope you don't mind me saying Hannah, but like, there's a huge amount of customers who love the British yarn dyers. They're just a huge amount of them. Me. I would love to keep supporting all the girls that I know, girls and boys, that I know from living over there and having close relationships, because we're literally just across the sea and Brexit strikes again, ruins everybody's lives. Oh. So I feel really sorry for everybody. And this is very special for me then, because it means that like I lived in the UK for, God, how long? 4 years, 7 years. 7 years I lived in the UK, Scotland, and I lived down in Exeter in Devon. And like, you know, it is a very special place in my heart. And the fact that like we're cut off monetarily because of some silly decisions, it just wrecks my, I'm just like wrecked, head wrecked. So this is a very special one for me. So this is the next one that I'm going to wind up and cast on. And I'm going to have to do it fairly quick because it is, what date is it today? The 2nd of January. And baby is due in 3 months. And I'm extremely slow knitting currently because I have a toddler. But the toddler is currently able to entertain herself for short periods of time. So I'm able to like sit on the couch and knit and like play with her. Do you know, like interact with her while she's playing with like magnet tiles or trains or whatever. So until she gets bored of that and then wants me to be a horse or something, which is great when you're pregnant, 6 months. Oh, I'm telling you, this pregnancy is different. I miss the pregnancy where I could just lie down. Like just literally just lie down. Just come home from work and lie down and not do anything. I thought I had it hard. An idiot. Sure, look, you don't know what you don't know, and now we're here. So thank God Creche is back. Thank God. Because there was a tough few weeks there where we were all so sick and she was the least sick of us. And actually I've just got this lovely bird and blend tea from Hannah as well with the package, which was really cute. Lovely. Yeah, so I'm really excited to cast this on. I think it's going to be lovely. I actually got the idea for knitting these little baby cardigans from Hannah because one skein will whip up a newborn cardi in like no time. It's amazing. So instead of like having to knit socks or whatever out of fingering weight sock yarn, 100 grams, you can literally throw together a little cardigan. And I'm like, oh, try not to make it too girly, but how cute would like a little like that with that pattern, the little flower pattern that I had, how cute would that be in this little lace? So I need to, but I think I'm just going to do a really simple, just let the yarn speak for itself because it's so beautiful. There's some little sprinkles. There's some little sprinkles here. We're kind of coming into sundown here at the minute, so tiny sprinkles. Yeah, so listen, if you've made it to the end of the video, I love you so much because it's the hardest thing ever to get to the end of the video. So we appreciate you. I appreciate you. Me, I do. And I hope to come back on semi-regularly. I have a couple of different ideas and I have actually today been signed off work for pregnancy because of all the various additional things that I've got going on with James, and this pregnancy has not been very easy and there's some issues that they basically want me to rest more and not be driving in and out to work every day. And honestly, I was doing a really bad job in work because I wasn't able to concentrate because I was so sick. So it's just better for everyone that I just rest and mind baby. So, but that does give me more time for me. And that means I have more time for ye. So I have started a more intentional Instagram strategy. Haven't really worked it completely out yet, but I have started a broadcast channel if anyone is interested in joining me on there. I'm just going to be throwing up random things and kind of being a little bit more authentic. So I feel like I've been sort of strangled with what I can say, what I can't say, and there's always stuff going on, and I just feel like I don't want everybody to know, but only people who are actually interested. You know, I've got a lot of followers both here and on Instagram, and it can be really intimidating. I feel like 12,000 people is a lot of people. Like, I know in the grand scheme of follower land, it's not. But to me, like if there were 12,000 people looking in my windows, I'd be like, kind of freaked out. So if you want to join the broadcast channel, and if you are, you know, authentically actually interested in my life and what's going on, and yeah, I really recommend that you do. pop along over there and join me over there. I'm Grace the Babbler on Instagram and on TikTok, even though I'm never on TikTok. I just watch it like a big stalker. And mostly I'm going to be focusing on YouTube and Instagram because life's short and, you know, messy and things like that. I am still trying to work out how I'm going to maintain a consistency once baby's here, because that's when I completely fell off with my first child. It just all went because I didn't know what I was doing. Now the next time, like this is baby number 2, so I know what to do. I know what's normal and what's not, and you know, so hopefully it'll be a little bit, I'm not going to say easier because it's not, but maybe I'll be just less stressed about it, you know what I mean? And I want to try and figure out a nice way to include, you know, that part of my life with the crafty part of my life, and hopefully not lose it completely like I did with my first child. I think it takes a lot of work, and it was the first thing to go when I was losing my damn mind when there was no sleep happening. So yeah, so it's going to be a challenge, but hopefully we'll be, if you want to be along for the ride. And thank you so much if you stuck with me through all of that kind of navigating of all motherhood business, because it's a business. It's a damn business. I have to show you this view outside. It is absolutely stunning. And then I will talk to you later.